In this lecture, we are going to see serial peripheral interfaces, protocol, serial peripheral, serial peripheral interface, that is SPI. SPI. We are going to see SPI serial communication protocol in this lecture. Let's start. Let's consider this block diagram as an Arduino or microcontroller which is working according to the data is coming from this device. This device may be IR sensor, maybe motion sensor, maybe temperature sensor. It may be anything. Let's consider it as a device. And through serial peripheral interface, that means through SPI serial communication, the data between this microcontroller and this device is possible. And how it is possible? It is possible with the help of these 4 lines. Means SPI serial communication is done with the 4 lines. Number 1, serial clock, and see the arrow is directed towards the device. You may say it slave also, or here you can say master also, alright. This device acts as a master and this device acts as a slave, alright. Why this is master? Because this device or this microcontroller, let's say over here this is Arduino, is doing the process on the data which is coming from this device. So that's why the role of this device is only to send and receive the data from microcontroller, and this device function is do process on that data and provide the appropriate output to the user. This is the role of this Arduino or microcontroller. So that's why this device is called as master and this device is termed as slave. First line, that is serial clock. Line is nothing but it is a one kind of wire, and through that wire clock signals are passed to this device, and that clock signals are in the form of waves. It is a digital wave. Then the next line is that coming from the slave device. Slave device maybe IR sensor, motion sensor, temperature sensor, or any device, right? The data captured by this sensor or this device is sent through this line. This line is called as a meso line. I am repeating it again. SPI is serial peripheral interface. It is a serial communication protocol used for the transmission of the data. This is the line which sends the data from this device to this device. This line is called as meso. This device is called as SCK, that is serial clock. This line is called as meso, that is master in, slave out. Master in, slave out, meso. Because slave is giving the output which becomes the input to this master, so that's why called as meso. And vice versa, if the data is going through this master to this slave, see the arrow of this line or this wire or this communication bridge is called as MOSI, that is master out, serial in, master out, serial in. And this is yes pin. This is yes pin. Okay, this pin is used, or this wire is used for, to select the devices which are connected in the circuit. So what you have seen over here, a diagram in which having two blocks, one block is for master device and another block is for slave device, right? Then through this master we send the clock signal. That line is nothing but SCK. Second line, that is MISO, master in, slave out. Third line, master out, slave in. And fourth line is slave select. Slave select. I think this much introduction or this much explanation is sufficient to understand which are the four lines are involved in SPI serial protocol and the role of that four lines, right, or four pins. These are nothing but four pins also, we can say. Then let's move towards the next fundamental thing which comes. If we have multiple slave devices, then how we will connect that multiple slave devices? Let's see the diagrams through which you can understand. In previous lecture, we have seen that I square C, that is inter-integrated circuit. In inter-integrated circuit serial protocol, there is a many master and many slave. We can connect and transmit the data in between them. But over here in SPI, only one master is there, and we can connect multiple slaves for this master. So this is the basic difference between SPI and I2C. But how we connect the multiple slaves for one master? Let's understand it through the example, the diagram. This diagram is only for one master and one slave. See over here, this is a master, suppose, and there are multiple slaves are there. How we can connect this multiple slaves? First three lines, this goes to over here SCK, then MISO, then third and fourth one. We can connect this fourth one, that is yes to this one also, and this one also. All right. How we can connect these things? By this way, or we can connect in different way also. For example, through the diagram you can understand. Number 1 and this is number 2. Okay, here first, that is CLK, then MISO, then MOSI. What is MISO? Master in, slave out. And master out, slave in, right? Then we can connect these lines to okay, and here yes, 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 that is slave select. This line is for, and this line is for this device. Here master, slave 1 and slave 2, right? These are the two pins are used over here to connect these two devices. As I have said earlier, in SPI there is only one master and multiple slaves are there, multiple devices are there. Through in between that we can do the communication. The communication is done by three methods generally. One, simplex, then half duplex, and three, duplex. Full duplex we can say. Full duplex. These are the three ways we can do the communication in embedded system. Simplex means at a time only one can do the communication, right? Only one can do the communication. Only one way is there. Half duplex, there is a two-way communication, but at a time only one can do the communication. And in full duplex, there is a communication between two persons, but there is no restriction कि at a time only one can put their information over the network. No, this is no restriction. The both sides can put their instructions or information on over the network. This is the simple information about simplex communication, half duplex communication, and full duplex communication. Here, this is a half duplex communication. This is half duplex communication. At a time, one can send information. After that, the other end can send information to master. Half duplex. Then, if this is the one situation, through this we can connect multiple slaves to one master by adding number of pins, right? Another one method is there. That method is called as daisy chain method. Daisy chain method. Why it comes into the picture? Because if there are 10 devices, if I have to connect, what I have to do? I have to add multiple slave select pins. Multiple slave select pins, and this is not a good as a hardware point of view. So to avoid this kind of interrupt, a daisy chain method comes into the picture. This is, suppose this is the master, and how it works, let's see it. We know that up till now we have seen there are 4 lines are there, right? 4 pins are there. Through SPI communication possible. First line, serial clock. This serial clock line is connected to all 3 devices. Serial clock line, right? And signal is going towards the slave. See the arrows. Then the same thing for slave select also. A separate line goes, and on that line each slave is connected. This is the line, and here the connection you can see. Here the connection you can see. There is some arrangement for meso and mosi pins. Meso and mosi pins. SCK and SS, you can observe only one line, and through that line all three slaves are connected. For slave select also same pattern is used, but for meso and mosi pattern is different. So let's first understand the meso. Suppose that is master in, slave out, means data is coming from slaves to master. Master in, slave out. Here is the line. Please see over here. Here is the line, and it is connected to this last slave machine, last slave device, right? Then there is no anywhere connection to this remaining two slaves over this meso wire or meso pin. This is directly connected to this last device, right? Then see mosi, master out, slave in, means data is going from master to slave, means for these three devices data is coming from master. See the line, this line is going towards direct first device, right? Mosi, here mosi, master out, slave in, right? It is directly connected to this first device. Means what you have seen, this meso is directly connected to this last device, and this mosi is directly connected to first device. Means this mosi line is not connected to this one and this one, and this meso line is not connected to this one and this one. Only pins are connected to only one devices, right? Now see, we understand this is, yes, serial clock. This pin is serial clock. This is mosi, which is coming from this side, and this is slave select that we have seen. What's about this? This is meso, that is master in, slave out. Means data is coming from this device, and please see the root. This is coming from this side and it goes towards this second device. This second device over here, and it becomes mosi over here, master out, slave in, means it is accepting the data from other device. So this becomes mosi. This becomes mosi, master out, slave in. Means have you understand? Here meso and here mosi. Then the same here meso, right? Master in, slave out, means data is going through this line and it is connected to this third one. So data is coming from other device, so it is master in, slave out, or master out, slave in. Yes, it is master out, slave in, because data is coming from other device. Have you understand? Have you understand the wiring? Have you understand the pin structure used in daisy chain method? Through one line, through one slave select line, we can connect multiple slaves over here. There is a different method that we have seen. By adding number of slave select pins, we can connect the multiple slave to the master for the data transmission, right? These are the multiple pins are used. But here, only one line is used and we have connected multiple slaves. Right. Then next thing that we have to understand. What we have seen up till now, we have seen what is SPI, that is serial peripheral interface which is one of the protocol of serial communication. SPI. SPI is work according to these 4 pins that we have seen. Here one master and one slave that we have taken, and with the help of this 4 pin, there is a transmission of data in between them, right? Then what we have seen how to connect multiple slaves, right? Then we have seen the communication type simplex, half duplex and full duplex. Then what we have seen, if we do not have to add any slave select line, we have to we have to construct the structure using only one slave select line. Then how do you construct that structure? We have seen, and this method is known as daisy chain method. Daisy chain method. Then the next topic that we have to see, SPI modes of operation. SPI modes of operation. There are 4 modes of SPI operation. Means what? The data transmission through SPI is done with 4 modes. That is mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. Right? Mode 0, mode 1, mode 2 and mode 3. And this data transmission of mode 1, mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3 is done by considering the clock polarity and clock phase. Clock polarity and clock phase. In this way, it works, right? This data transmission in SPI is happen. But how actually it happens? Let's see, right? What is clock polarity and clock phase? That we are going to see over here. First, what we have to do, what we have to understand. First, clock polarity 0. Then what is next? Clock phase CK clock phase, that is 0. Mode of operation, that is also 0. And how it will work, that we have to see. How it will work, that we have to see. With the help of a timing diagram. This is sender and this is a receiver. Initially the clock signal CLK, it's sent to a receiver, right? Means according to the clock signal, all the data transmission is adapted, right? Clock signal, and this is the clock signal. Suppose okay, this is the clock signal sent to a receiver. Initially clock pole means clock polarity is 0, means it starts from 0, then it goes to 1, right? Then it goes to 1. Initially it is 0, and clock phase also 0. Clock phase is also 0, right? Clock phase is also 0, and through this we sends the data. 0 1 0 1, like this. This is the working of SPI. I think we have a shorter time right now. I want to explain it in very brief, but I have only shown you a very simple thing over here. In the next lecture, I will show you whole diagram, how it works. Okay, here I am winding up the session. Thank you.